Walk through the center of a busy market town, and you'll see a population in constant motion. Every merchant and trader is hurriedly pushing to maximize their daily yield, moving faster each hour to close a few more trades or carry a slightly heavier load. This is a practical look at the accumulation trap. It's the moment where the collection of resources detaches from what a person actually needs to survive. The goal is no longer a full pantry, but the pursuit of a number that never stops moving. You can see the result in the way these villagers live. They work well into the evening, their eyes fixed on ledgers and grain counts. When success is defined only by growth, the day never truly ends, leaving little room for anything but the next transaction. But at the very edge of town, where the hills begin to rise and the noise of the market fades, the pace changes. This is where Amma lives, in a simple cottage, surrounded by a small garden and a few fruit trees that lean in the breeze. The villagers believe they are securing their future by expanding as fast as possible. Yet, as their inventories grow, so does the time and energy required to protect them, leaving them with more possessions but less rest than the woman on the outskirts of town. Amma's morning starts without the rush. She walks her garden with a cane, accompanied by Poppy, a hen with soft white feathers and black spots on her wings. They move together at a slow, steady pace, with Poppy clucking as if participating in a quiet conversation. This is a life built on a different standard. When Poppy lays a single egg each morning, Amma holds it in her hands and accepts it as a complete provision. To her, one egg isn't a starting point for a business. It's exactly what she needs for the day. She manages this resource with a strict, simple balance. She boils the egg, eats half for breakfast, and saves the other half for dinner. It's a closed loop that provides total sustenance without requiring any additional labor or stress. Then the unexpected happens. One morning, Poppy lays 2 eggs instead of 1. In an instant, Amma's daily resources have doubled. This surplus creates a choice. When a life is already balanced and satisfied, how do you handle a sudden excess? Does it become a tool for growth or a new way to interact with the world? The villagers see the second egg and immediately offer the logic of the market. They tell Amma to sell the extra, buy better feed to get 3 eggs, and eventually purchase a dozen more hens to build a commercial enterprise. This diagram shows the mechanics of that mindset. Here, every unit of surplus must be captured and reinvested. The logic suggests that by turning 1 egg into 10 and 10 into a factory, you can eventually buy the security you're looking for. But Amma sets a different boundary. She doesn't reinvest the egg to build a bigger coop. She simply takes the second egg to the market and trades it for a handful of rice and a piece of jaggery, meeting her immediate needs and stopping there. As the 2-egg days continue, she finds other uses for the surplus. She leaves eggs on neighbors' doorsteps or gives them to children on their way home from school. Soon the town begins to call her Egg Amma, not for her wealth, but for her habit of sharing. By refusing to scale up into a business, Amma preserves her time. While the villagers are busy managing their expanding assets, she remains in her garden, free to enjoy the afternoon without the weight of an enterprise to oversee. Even Poppy benefits from this lack of pressure. There are no lights to keep her laying longer or special feeds to force more yield. She simply clucks at Amma's feet, existing in the same peaceful rhythm. Amma has discovered that a surplus can be converted into social value and free time. By giving the extra away, she secures her place in the community while protecting her own schedule from the demands of growth. The monsoon arrives with a sudden violence. Days of rain turn the gentle stream into a torrent, overflowing the banks and flooding the low-lying fields. The villagers' strategy of scaling up starts to show its risks. The complex businesses they built and the hoarded assets they relied on are easily swept away or ruined by the water, leaving them with nothing but the debt of their expansions. Amma's situation is different. Because she never scaled up, she has no large infrastructure to lose. Her lifestyle is small and localized, making it much harder for a systemic shock like a flood to destroy her livelihood. She also has a tangible reserve. While the villagers were trading for currency that has now lost its immediate use, Amma had been boiling and pickling her extra eggs, turning her surplus into a direct, edible resource. When the storm hits, The villagers find that their complex investments are difficult to eat. Amma's decision to keep her life simple meant she had fewer things that could be broken, and her reliance on physical resources provided a stability that paper wealth couldn't match. As the waters recede, Amma comes out of her cottage. She moves through the mud to find the families who lost their crops, quietly handing out the jars of pickled eggs she had saved. She doesn't ask for payment or a trade. The ambitious villagers are confused. They ask why she didn't sell those eggs earlier to build a financial cushion for herself, questioning why she's giving away the only thing she has left. Amma explains her perspective. True happiness isn't about the act of gathering. It's about appreciating what you have and recognizing that a surplus is a gift meant to be used when the time is right. By breaking the instinct to always chase more, we find a different kind of security. In Amma's world, wealth isn't something that can be washed away by a flood. It is found in the compassion shared between neighbors and the peace of having enough.